Alright, YouTube. Fidel Castro died today, Saturday, the 26th November, and there are different responses happening because of it. Trump said Fidel Castro is dead. Obama said Fidel Castro's true character will be judged by the history books. Really? Let's define the hypocrisy here, shall we? So it's wrong for Trump to want to work with Russia because Putin is a dictator, which Obama says, which the leftists say, the pundits, everyone. But it's okay for Obama to praise an actual dictator who's been running and oppressing the Cubans for decades. The reason why Obama loves Cuba so much is because Cuba aligns with his socialist agenda. Obama is a socialist. He believes in a socialist ideology. Whereas Putin doesn't kiss his ass like perhaps Obama does. Or because the government of Putin does not align with Obama's socialist views. So Obama cannot express any type of statement. He cannot say anything that would contradict his own beliefs. So therefore, Putin has to be good. Or he has to leave it out there for interpretation. Castro may be good. He'll leave it out there for interpretation. But Putin is bad no matter what. Because Putin does not align with his views. Putin does not agree with Obama. And therefore, Putin is an evil, evil man. Obama's proclivities towards socialism and the socialism ideology really for me anyways, I have to question his judgment on all of his decisions now. Because socialism does not work. A true socialist nation does not work. Now, crony capitalism doesn't really work that well either. And that's the big issue with happening today, especially with progressives. Progressives being millennials and Bernie supporters. They are attacking and denigrating the concept of capitalism because they are basing their perception on capitalism of crony capitalism, Bush capitalism, where the rich and the powerful have connections with the government to use their authority, to use their positions, to try to garner more money, and to try to manipulate the system for their own greed. That has nothing to do with capitalism at all. True capitalism, America has not been a true capitalist country since Kennedy, since 1960s. And look at Kennedy's GDP growth average. I think it was 6.3 average. Obama's, I think it's a 2.6. George Bush was 2.7. Reagan was a 4.8, I think, something like that. So crony capitalism still does better than the socialist agenda and ideologies, as we can tell by George Bush having a better GDP growth compared to Obama. But a true capitalist society we have not experienced since Kennedy. Even during Reagan, we started seeing the transference of true capitalism to crony capitalism. There was a mixture of the two, if you will. But hopefully Trump brings that back. Hopefully Trump brings back true capitalism. Because if we let the markets thrive, and we let the markets do its job, let me give you an example why we're not a true capitalist nation. George Bush's bailout of the Wall Street banks, 2008, would not have happened in a capitalist society. We would have let them fail, exactly like that. Those banks would have failed, and that's how capitalism works. It's competition. Competition thrives independence, which thrives GDP growth, which thrives the money, everything like this. So George Bush was a crony capitalist, and I think a lot of the fear over Trump, a lot of fear especially from Bernie supporters, are that they believe that Trump will continue on that same ideology. Now, I guess that depends. I can't say for sure, because Trump would be in the perfect scenario. Trump would be in the perfect position to use crony capitalism to achieve what he wants with respect to greed. So I won't say that I'm going to guarantee he won't do it, because he's a businessman. He likes money, obviously. He's in a position now to use crony capitalism to his advantage. I hope he doesn't. I hope he goes back to the free market. I hope he limits the power of the government to such an extent where the government is basically invisible, which Rand Paul wants to do. If we let the free market work, America, you would see a revolution in America, a technological revolution, hell, even spiritual revolution, economic revolution, you would see things that has not been seen for decades, and it would be great. But the socialist agenda is being pushed more and more every day, especially from Bernie Sanders supporters, hardcore progressives, because they believe that since capitalism failed them, even though they're not even 30 years old yet, they believe that all capitalism fails and it's rigged. They don't understand that true capitalism has not been achieved or has not been operated on for decades since Kennedy. That they would actually sit back and give that a chance if we can find some type of person as president. That's why I want Ron Paul to be in there. But either way, Trump needs to get Congress to work with him on that. So I brought that up because we were talking about socialism, and socialism appears to be the norm these days, that younger progressives and people like that believe that socialism is the answer. The Socialism Party is actually starting to grow more due to the adherence of Bernie Sanders and his support of it. People love Bernie, so they automatically think socialism is the right answer, just because they believe Bernie so strongly. But socialism minimizes economic growth. They have to understand that. And Obama is a socialist. He is very hardcore progressive there, and that's why it's kind of funny when he brings up Putin and Fidel Castro. Putin doesn't align with his views that much, so Putin is a bad guy. But Fidel Castro, who oppressed his people for years, who killed his people for years, but was a true socialist and a communist, Obama leaves it open for interpretation that the history books will decide whether he is true. But if it's Putin or anyone else that likes Trump and not me, they're bad. But Castro, him and his socialist policies, he could be good. We don't know that. We'll let history decide. It's that type of behavior that really makes me happy that he is soon to be out of the White House, because he looks down on America, and he is so confident. He's so cocky. He thinks he knows what is best for America. He is arrogant. He is egotistical, braggadocious, self-centered, everything. And I hope Trump doesn't kiss his ass. He's going to be staying, Obama is going to be staying in Washington, D.C. now. He's probably going to be helping lobbying efforts for a Democratic Party. And you can bet that if Trump does something that Obama disagrees with, Obama will step up and argue against him. Hopefully Trump just tells him to fuck off and get rid of it like that, because we don't need Obama. The country had 8 years of Obama, and in response, they elected Trump. They elected a full Republican Senate and a full Republican House. So Obama, I always said in past videos, Obama's biggest failure will be if Trump gets elected, because it will demonstrate to Obama, it will delineate to Obama that the American people do not condone, do not tolerate, do not want his progressive and socialist ideologies. So they are going in the complete opposite direction of what they think Obama was trying to oppress them with. And that's essentially what's going on with Trump. Trump is the opposite of Obama. Trump is the antithesis of Obama. So in response to Obama and his poor performance as president, they elect an outsider, a businessman who never held an office before, with no political experience whatsoever besides past lobbying efforts. And that's the response to Obama. And Obama knows this. He's trying to save face. I think he's trying to trick himself more than he's trying to trick us. He's trying to convince himself more than he's trying to convince us. But he is trying to convince himself now that that's all right, that they're doing that because they still love me. He said it during a press conference. He's like, well, the majority of people, according to my approval rating, agree with my policies. I forgot. I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly what press conference was. It was a recent one, because he has like a 56% approval rating. Do they agree with me? No, because 70% of them think the country's going in the wrong direction, and you're at the forefront of that. So, good riddance to Obama. I hope Trump cancels out every single one of his unconstitutional executive orders. Like when he wrote executive order to stop schools from saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Yeah, he did that. Obama did that. I think I'm going to be doing a video soon, don't know when exactly, of Obama's 10 most unconstitutional or unpatriotic executive orders, because there are some crazy ones he has done that really, I believe, shows the American people what he really believes, his true character, what he actually thinks of American patriotism. It's not what you think. He is not a patriot at all. He is the apologist of the world to overseas countries. He is a Fidel Castro sympathizer. He is a communist sympathizer. He is a socialist. All of these things he wants done is a complete opposite on the ideologies and the ethos and the foundation that America was founded on. Obama is the antithesis of the America Foundation. And it's because of him that America is experiencing this progressive decay and dilapidation of our economy. I mean, our economy is going into a recession. We never got out of recession. Don't listen to the media. We were been in a recession the whole time. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. If you look at the GDP growth average per quarter, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. Every quarter gets worse and worse. So hopefully Trump can turn around, but it might be too late. Watch some Peter Schiff videos. Very intelligent man. He will go over the free market a lot more in depth than I could, but check him out. Hopefully, Obama can't get out of office soon enough. I hope he doesn't degrade America more than it is already becoming under his leadership. And I'm done.